Hello, welcome back to 3D Drawing for Model Railway. In today's lesson I'm going to start to look at drawing on the footsteps on each side below the doors. I'm going to start adding some more of the detail that wasn't symmetrical in the first quarter of the wagon that we drew. So for drawing the steps, we're going to use a similar process to what we used for drawing the ferry hooks here. So we'll create an offset plane, and we can use either of any vertical plane here will work. So if we select that, we look at the photographs, the edge of this bracket here that we're going to draw is roughly sort of in line with the door. So we can just drag this across and we'll start, there you go, halfway through the door, so that works for me. We're going to create a sketch on that profile and we're going to come from the other end. So we're going to go to the left end and slice through the model. Okay, and then what we're going to start by drawing, it's just this upright bracket here, so it comes attached to the sole bar, comes out, down, and the steps fitted to that. Okay, so starting, we're going to use a rectangle. Just going to drag a rectangle out like that, and then we're going to coincidence the corners so they're all locked into position, and dimension the width here as 0.2 millimeters. For the next part, I'm going to draw the horizontal coming out. So just grab another rectangle and drag that across. So height, I'm going to end at 0.2 millimeters, 1.5 millimeters on the width. And then we need to come vertically down. So we're going to snap another rectangle in. I'm going to come down. If we look at the height now, so the bottom of this bracket is probably level with the bottom of the actual box. Okay, so we're going to go for 4.75 in height. I'm actually going to go a little bit thicker on this, 0.4 just with a bit of strength. And I'm going to constrain this corner into the corner here. Snap, okay, so that's the vertical. The step's going to sit on here. Maybe needs to come out a little bit, but we'll see in a minute. Okay, so the next part, I have a rectangle up here, and I'm going to do that 1.2 long and 0.3 thick, and on the back of the step there's a small like kickboard coming up slightly. So again, just another rectangle, snap into that corner. I'm going to do that as 0.3 square. So we've got the footstep here, the bracket underneath, kick step, and then the hanger coming down. And then on the bottom, we're going to draw the step again. So another rectangle, draw that out. Again, we're going to go the same sort of size, so 1.2 by 0.3. Steps, and I'm going to start by just extruding. I'm going to put a little rectangle on the bottom here to represent the panel underneath. It's not going to come up quite so far, so not too thick. And I'm going to go 1 millimeter in length. Okay, I'm going to select these profiles. That one. That one there. So that's going to be our hanger. Extrude that. Take that round. And go into put that create a join. Thickness. I think maybe 0.5. Yep, that's what we're after. And then we're going to do rectangular pattern. So select that feature again, direction horizontal, and it needs to come across to the other end of the door here. Again, we need 2 of them. That looks like it's pretty symmetrical between those. Click on OK, that should be good there. And then we need the steps themselves. So we go back into the previous drawing. So if we open up the sketches here, scroll down to sketch 72, which is the last one we drew, and we can select these profiles like that. Right click and then extrude them. So they overhang those brackets slightly, so we're needing 2-sided. I'm going to come to the left. I'm going to come across 0.3 and then to the right, tell it to join, come across like this, and then 0.3 out the other end. Click on OK, and the one thing we didn't do is draw on the kickboard at the back. So just turn that sketch off, and what we'll do is just add that in on the bottom one. Slice through so you can see it. Get that as 0.3 square. Select that profile, and then we can extrude that. All the way across to the other end, and tell it to join or cut. So let's just have a look side on. I'm thinking it might be a little bit long. Maybe I'll shorten this up a little bit and bring it up a bit higher. So I think I probably will. So edit the sketch here, and we'll change the dimension of this to 4 millimeters. Okay, that looks a bit better, I think. Still not 100% convinced with the height of these, so I'm just probably going to make them a little bit shorter again. So just change that to maybe 3.5. I'm going to go with that actually and just sort of see how that develops through the rest of the model with things like V hangers, which will give us some sort of more representation of where we want them to be. Okay. And obviously I've just noticed we've missed off one of the central hangers here, so we can add that in by going back to the mirror feature, editing that, change that to 3, and that puts one in that middle as well. While we're working this area, we might as well add on the door handles. So again, we're going to use a similar technique to what we did for this handrail here. Create a construction plane, an offset construction plane. We're going to go from the end of the wagon and drag that across. Now if we look at the position of the handrails here, they're sort of just to the right of the centre of the door seam. So from the end of the wagon, I'm going to come across to 32.25, I think. No, that's probably a bit close. Let's go 32.4. Okay, create a sketch on that new profile. Doesn't matter which way around you look at this wagon now. I'm going to slice through to that position. And then we can just draw using the line tool. Let's come out by, find that length as 0.3, and I'm going to constrain the right of the 2 points to that side. Height wise, it's just above the floor, so we can bring that down, so maybe 1mm. Okay, so this looks 18 inches tall, slightly above the vents. So we rotate around, draw a line from that point. So there's your vents there. I reckon we're going to go to 2.3mm. And then we can draw a line back from there into the body. And then we can just make it a little bit neater. We're going to round those two ends off using the fillet tool. Go up to 0.15, and then they've got curved edges. Finish that sketch, and then we can pipe that profile line. 0.2mm, and that's probably going to make that 0.3mm in diameter. Okay, and then we've got to do another handrail a little bit further up. So use the same, create a sketch on the same profile plane. So that would be plane 15. Slice through again. Again using the line tool. 0.3 length, constrain end, and then define the distance between there and the floor. This is 6 inches above this position, so we're going to go say 5mm from the bottom of the floor, and then draw a line from the edge upwards, and this is going to just below the top hinge. So there's your top hinge here. So we're going to come up to 5.4 and then line back into the body. Again, we use the fillet tool on the two corners. Give 0.15. Finish the sketch and then pipe those again using the 0.3mm diameter. Make sure that's a join. I'll have to just check that that wasn't a new body on the last one. It was. So check that pipe again, edit it, change that to join, click on OK. Okay, so looking at this now, compare that top handrail needs to come down slightly. Edit the sketch. So we've got 5mm here, so let's change that to 4.6. And have a look again. So positions just below the handrail, and just below the handrail. That looks okay to me. So the next thing I'm going to add in is the door handle. So I'm not going to draw it as an actual handle, I'm just going to do a similar sort of process to the hinges here, creating just a rectangle shape. So create the sketch on the left hand door, just use the rectangle tool. And the height of the door handle is 3 or 4 inches above the bottom of the top handrail, and it does overlap the door slightly. So I'm going to go back to this position, overlap the door. 1.2mm in 1.3mm in length and 0.3mm in height. Let's define the height from the base, 5mm, and from the left door handle, left door edge, 4. And then select the profiles and extrude. Again, two-sided extrusion. Back one's going to go back into the model to join up the back there, tap the join, and then the front one's just going to come out 0.4mm. What I can do is make it a little bit more, the door handle is just round off bumpers here using the fillet tool. Just drag that in 0.15, and you've got the rounded edges on the door handle there. The last thing I'm going to do on this episode is draw the 4 door bumpers here. So obviously this left hand bumper has got to go and be half the or twice the distance from the bumper to the edge and edge to the bumper. And you can see how they're not symmetrical, and this is going to be the same. So the distance from this bumper to the edge and then the edge to this bumper will be the same. So again, just using little circles here. Height wise, they're just below the top door handrail. Create a sketch on this front face. I'm just going to do a little circle. Let's go 0.3 in diameter. It's probably going to be big enough. Actually, let's go 0.5, just give it a little bit more meat to stand out a little bit further. Height will be from there to there. Let's go 4.4. That can be looking okay. Probably needs to come down a bit more. 4.2. That's better. Okay, distance from there to the edge of the door. So we'll go 4.1. No, it's got to be more across. Let's go 4 millimeters. Okay, so that's that drawn. Let's inspect the width between that point and that point is 0.25. So it's going to be 4 plus 4.25 plus 4, so 8.25 to the left for this position. So we can draw another circle, select the same height, same diameter, and dimensions from that midpoint to midpoint will be 8.25. So that's the 4 millimeters from the midpoint of this to the edge of the door, plus 0.25 thickness of the door, and then 4 millimeters again on the other side. Vertically and horizontally constrain those 2 points, and then we can extrude these. And we'll come out by 0.3 millimeters. Tell that to join. Hasn't picked up this profile, so we'll just select that as well. Click on OK. I'm going to actually just reduce the size of those slightly. Do it a bit big. So it's 0.35. And what we can do is make the diameter of this one, or you can type in 0.35. You could use constraint that, but just as quick to type there. Finish that, and then we need to copy these and bring them across. So we're going to do, if we go back into that sketch again, create another circle. Its position is probably about halfway across the door. So 0.35. I'm pretty happy with that position there. Let's just measure that to the edge of the door. So 2.3. We'll vertically constrain that, so horizontally constrain that. And then we'll draw another one on this panel here, 0.35. Horizontally constrain that to that one. Okay, so we'll constrain it to that one. Yep. And then we need dimension from there, midpoints. So it's going to be 4.6, which is the 2 2.3s plus 0.25 0.5 of width of the door gap. So these are now in the correct position. Finish that sketch, and if we do the extrusion, edit it, and we can then just go and select extra profiles, adding that one and that one. Set to join. It's those door bumpers drawn. So I think I'm going to end the video at this point here. We've added on obviously all the detail around the door. Quite happy with that. We'll come on the next lesson, finish off some more of the details. Thanks for watching.